Hey everyone, it's Nico. I've got 3 more games here from Guardian Games Studios, so thank you to Spencer for sending these over. All 3 of these games are just previews, so they're preview builds. We're not looking at any finished games, so we might run into some issues, and I'll point those out as we go. But the first game we're looking at here is Nathan and Luke, Badasses at Law, and Ethan. So this is a action platformer that's side-scrolling in nature. Obviously, this is a Game Boy Color game, so this one controls really great, and it's got kind of like this quirky nature to it with its story and the way you're throwing out these projectiles that say facts on them. So I actually really like what this has got going on for it aesthetically. It controls really great, and it's appropriately colorful for a Game Boy Color game. They have these nice little signs here that are, like your tutorials. You could do like this crazy, like, Donkey Kong Country style roll. It's kind of wacky. This whole game is kind of weird and wacky, but I love games like that, so this is really fun. All 3 of the games that we're going to look at in this video, you can purchase for yourself. They'll come out later in 2025. And I'll have a link in the pinned comment below. And then additionally, if you're interested in any already released games from Guardian Games Studios, I did a video a few weeks ago on their already released products, and that was 3 games as well. So I'll have a link in the description box below if you want to head over to that video and check it out. This is a pretty simple game. You're just moving left to right, essentially, and you don't have to eliminate the enemies. I have a thirst for blood, I guess, and I pretty much eliminate all the enemies. But you can see that, like, as I'm jumping across these tree stumps, it's pretty spot on with its controls. Okay, so we got a new power-up. We got iframes now when we roll. Oh, look at that big gap. See, we gotta roll across it. So all 3 of these games are, like I said, in development. Oh, look at that. So, that guy just, like, walked on air and landed on the top of my head and killed me. So that wasn't really great. Hopefully that's something that is not in the main game. And then, of course, we just completely missed that jump. That was our fault. But, these levels on this one are divided up into, like, sections. So if you die, you'll just start at the last, like, checkpoint. Think of those as, like, your checkpoints. So now that we know that this idiot's gonna walk on air, we juked him out there. And then failed miserably at another jump. Whoops. We're gonna try this a 3rd time. They say 3rd time's the charm. Oh, look at that. Take him out. Trial and error. Let's see if we cannot fail at this jump. There we go. There we go. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. We got some new terrain here. Yeah, that enemy walking on air thing's kind of bugging me the more we get into this. I'm actually really surprised at how good this controls. Like, you gotta remember this is a Game Boy game, and this is very, very precise in going across the top of these tree stumps or whatever these are. I think that's what they are. Look at this. One false move and we're going right into some spikes. And that's facts. Now, for the sake of variety, that was level 1. We're going to jump ahead here and get into level 2 a bit. And you'll see that we have some new hazards. We also have a new enemy type that is too short if you're above them. We got these logs going across lava. I don't really know how they're not on fire, but Game Boy game logic, I mean, you know what I mean? Doesn't need to make sense. Oh, look at that guy. He almost walked so far across the air, he almost kicked me right in my face. Oh, I hit my head on the spikes there. And that is no lie. Okay, I promise I'm done with the puns. This game's got some pretty cool music. It's, you know, not anything you're gonna tap your foot to like Nathan is here, but it's pretty good. Definitely pretty good, especially by Game Boy standards. I think this is a fairly long game too. I didn't play all the way through it. I'm sure I will play all the way through it when the game's actually done. I did want to just preview it, but I think it might be like 25 levels maybe? Something like that. When I'm editing this video, if that's wrong, I'll put a little annotation on the screen. But you can see, like, there's some pretty intense platforming here, so if you're one of those people that just picked up a chromatic and you enjoy playing Game Boy games, this is going to be a great one for you to play on that flashy new $200 Game Boy Color you bought. Just throwing that out there. So, this guy's just hunting me down like a dog. Okay, we got to be careful here. I think those are all spikes. Oh, man. He hit me right into him. Alright, we try it. We go again. We go again. I honestly don't really have any complaints with this from what I played, other than the enemies running through the air. That needs to not happen. Not only does it look weird, but, you know, that's not something normal in games. We know this little guy is going to try and uppercut us in the spikes, so see, we learned our lesson, we took him out. Those windows there in that previous section, like with the spikes on the ceiling, it looks a little weird because the spikes are kind of covering part of the window. Just a visual thing, just an observation, but it looks a little weird. Yeah, the music on this one's intense. So we're probably going to play just a little bit more, and then we'll get into the second game, which is also a Game Boy Color game. So next we're going to be looking at Soren Rising, which is another platformer, but it's quite a bit different than this. I think it would be really cool if the hazards killed the enemies as well. I think that'd be cool. Like, that enemy there kind of walked right over the spikes. I think it'd be really neat if that killed them. Oh, there was another power up there too. Take him out. So if you want to know what that power-up is that was up ahead, you're going to have to play for yourself. So this is going to be Soren Rising, which is based on one of the developer's novels. And there's story introduced in the very beginning, but we're going to go ahead and just skip past it and get right into the gameplay, because that's probably what you're all here for. If you're interested in the story, you can play this for yourself. But you get this opening scene, and then you're going to get some text like you see here in a scroll. And then we're going to dive right on into it. Now, the first thing you'll notice on this one is that the overworld map looks very reminiscent of Super Mario Land 2. And that's okay, because guess what? That's pretty much what this game plays like. And you do have, like, different worlds that I did notice. I only played through the first world because, again, these are previews. Just wanted to give you guys a sampling of it. but it is laid out kind of that same way where you have different worlds and you can go pretty much to any level you want in that world, from what I can tell. You can play them in any order. So in the first level there, I didn't really know if I could do anything, so I skipped ahead here to the second one. We got this egg we just collected, which I believe is our current quest. There is no music in this build, but there will obviously be music in the final game. So this is a pretty early preview build that does not have music yet. Man, our guy here is he's really bopping his head along, huh? Look at him go. When he's standing there, he's just bopping his head. You can, like, Goomba stomp enemies. Oh, he didn't like that. He took off. Got these warthogs. He, like, split in half. Oh, he disappeared. Must have despawned because he went slightly off screen. That kid looks upset. Thank you, Soren. Protect those who cannot protect themselves. Yes, we will. I know this one feels a little barren without the music, but, you know, I'm sure it'll be pretty cool when it is implemented. This has the same programmer as Winsley's Guardian, which I covered in my previous video on Guardian Games Studio. And, you know, he does a great job with these Game Boy Color games, genuinely. Look at that head bop. They are head bopping. I'm excited for the music in this, because it's got to be good if these guys are head bopping the whole time. They're just jamming out here as they're talking. Yep. Yep. It's dangerous to go alone. So we got some spears we could throw with the B button now. This, I believe, is going to be a fairly story-heavy game. So you're already seeing a lot of text. One thing that I would like to see is the little green circles when you pick a level. Like, can we turn those red, and then when the level there has been beaten, then it's green? Can we get, like, something there to distinguish between levels that are cleared, which levels are not? I don't know, it just seems like something that would make sense. So, okay, we kick this box over. Okay. So, there we go, we have... Okay, we didn't throw a spear there, but I don't really know why. It made the sound. Oh, and then we missed the jump. Okay, let's try this again. So it seems like you could only have one spear on screen at a time. But there's times where I don't have a spear on screen and it makes the sound, but it's not throwing a spear. I'm confused on that, and it feels weird. Okay. So we also have this slide. So I slid right in that gap there. Oh, pop you in the head. I really like the pixel art on this one. Trying to kind of gather my thoughts as I play this, because it's weird not having any music and just having sound, but... Yeah, I don't... What is that? Why is it... I don't understand why it's making that sound and not throwing a spear. It's really throwing me off. I'm hoping that's like maybe a bug or an issue that's going to be fixed, because I hope that's not going to be that way in the final release. But, okay, so to get past this guy, we need to defeat a few more enemies. So we're going to go ahead and skip ahead here. You don't need to see me just backtrack to where I already was. And now that we've accomplished that, our blue-haired friend here is going to hop right out of our way. And we're going to get back into it. The level design so far has been really good. I know this is only one area, so it's obviously a lot of green and stuff like that. And, you know, there's different items to collect. Like, there was coins. And then here's a skull key, which I believe we need for the boss. So you can see this sign here is telling us that we can slide and then jump. So that's a really great way for a Game Boy Color game to teach you a mechanic. Otherwise, you would have had to somehow figure that out on your own, which is probably how it would have been back in the day. But no. Oh, so we got eliminated there, and here we see the game over screen. So we're going to go ahead and continue. And you do keep your progress, but it just, you know, tossed me back to where I started the world. So we'll just walk our way back to the level we were on. And we'll try it again. It's pretty satisfying to just peg these guys with these spears. So you can see that the skull key we still have, even though we didn't complete the level. So it did keep our progress, even though we got a game over there. But me being the completionist that I am, I don't even know if you need to clear every level on a particular world to beat it. You probably don't, since we have the boss key. But I'm gonna anyways. You know, and I'm not entirely sure what the coins do. Oh, maybe they're to heal? Huh. I mean, this will obviously make more sense when you have, you know, like the instruction manual and stuff like that, because we're going in here blind with a preview build. But the skull key opened the door, and this appears to be our first boss. He is trying to Zelda 2 downward thrust us. Oh, he got me right in my cranium there. Oh, he got me. Alright, we'll try again, try again. We go again, we go again. I don't think that head bop hurt him. I think just the spear hurts him. Yeah, well, I don't understand. Why is it not throwing a spear sometimes and it makes the sound? I don't understand. That's totally gotta be a bug. Totally gotta be a bug. Oh, we're one hit from death. Oh, we got him. And we got another key. So that was the first world. Again, that was actually really fun. So it looks like, yeah, World 2. Okay. So we're going to move on now to Tresibra, which is an NES game. And they have a bunch of different characters that you can play as, including Soren, who we just saw in the previous game. So we're going to take a look here, and then we are going to select Zane. Now this one, just like the last game, is going to hit you with some story. And, yeah, there it is pretty much. I'll let you read it for yourself. I feel like anytime there's text on screen like this and somebody tries to read it and it's scrolling fairly quickly, it's more distracting than anything. So that's the basic premise of this one. And again, this game is for the NES. So I know there's a pretty thriving NES homebrew scene. And this is the first one from Guardian Game Studio that's not a Game Boy or Game Boy Color game, and that is actually an NES game. So they start you out in this town here. I see at the top, I can see my health, inventory, gold. Looks like there's a little spot there for like an active item. Okay. So, I don't know what's going on with the music, but I'm sure you hear that. It's just like a bump, bump. I don't know what that is. Maybe that's an emulator thing. Maybe that's, you know, just again, this is a preview build type of thing going on where it's an issue, but it's kind of annoying, whatever it is. So apologies in advance. Hopefully this has some proper music. So the town seems pretty simple. There was a blacksmith there for like your weapons and armor. Here we have a item shop to buy various items. Looks like healing and like, you know, antidotes and things like that. So, okay. I don't know what it is about NES games. I just really like 8-bit, 16-bit pixel art. I don't know. Maybe it's because it reminds me of my childhood. Maybe it's the rose-tinted glasses, so to speak. But I really like it. Got a lot of green here. Maybe a little bit too much green. Those look like... Those might be warthogs again, maybe? Or pigs? Shooting them in the face with our bow, though. So it looks like we got infinite ammo, obviously, which is great. Because if this was a modern game, we'd probably have to buy arrows, which would be awful. This kind of feels like if Gauntlet on NES, you know, was more of an open game and not just like chambers. Man, that music sound or whatever that is obnoxious. Again, I do want to reiterate, these are preview builds, so that's probably why we're encountering that. But this one controls pretty good. It's very green. This looks like a dead end, but is that like a pile of leaves or something there? Oh, yep. Okay, we fell in a hole here. So now we're in a cave. And we got like some gray looking goblin guys or something. Where apparently there was a lot of death here. Okay, don't touch the spikes. Just touching them hurts. There's blood splatters everywhere, and so those are breakable blocks of some sort. These enemies are dropping coins, which are to purchase items. Can't destroy those. I thought maybe you could destroy those skulls and maybe they'll drop like coins or items or something. You know, kind of how in like modern games there's like barrels and things like that. Okay, so here's a torch. Is that like some sort of a flammable substance over there? Or... Oh, the coin despawned pretty quick. Oh. Oh. Oh, wow. That's a beginner's trap if I've ever seen one. Either that or I was just standing in the wrong spot. I got destroyed. So that kicked us right on back to the menu. So I'm assuming you only have one life. So we're going to try a different character here. And so now we got an axe. And we already know what's in the town. So we're just going to proceed on ahead here. It's kind of unfortunate that 2 of the 3 games that we're previewing here don't have music. Because the music in games like this is a pretty important component in my opinion. But I'm fairly certain that it'll be pretty decent. Because the music's been pretty good in most of the Guardian Game Studio games. Especially Winsley's Guardian. That was a very stellar soundtrack. And if you have not watched my previous video on Guardian Game Studio that I did a few weeks ago, I know I already mentioned it once. Well, I'm going to plug it again. Please go watch, especially the part about Winsley's Guardian, because that is a game that literally everybody needs to play. Like, I adored that game so much. And it has a demo, actually. If you go to the Guardian Game Studio website, there's a demo you could try if you want to see what all the fuss is about, since I keep gushing about that game. So now that we're back in the cave, you know, one thing that I'll say about the axe, which makes sense, right? Like, usually melee is more powerful than, ranged weapons, is that I would probably not play as a melee character like this just because of how short the range is. Like, I prefer the convenience of the range over the melee. So we lit that on fire. It's chasing us. Oh, I messed that up. Oh, okay, I see now. Over to the right, that path. I'm supposed to go that way. Ooh, we messed that up. Oh, we're dead again. Okay, well, we're gonna try another character. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna skip ahead to where we keep dying, because you've already seen me go through this place like a few times. So here, we're gonna skip ahead a little bit. And what happened here is I actually got hit, so I'm poisoned. So you can see my face is green, and also, you know, like the text at the top is your indication that you're poisoned. And so my health is slowly depleting. So this has some pretty advanced like status effects for an 8-bit game. Obviously, we don't have the item to cleanse the poison, so hopefully it's going to run off before we die. We did just get a healing item off the warthogs or pigs there. So we're going to head back in the cave. And you know what they say, right? Third time's the charm. At least if you play this, you'll know what to do at this part, and you won't have to come back here 3 times. It is a bit of a beginner's trap, though, like, for sure. For sure, because like the path over there you can see is blocked off until you put the torch to the flammable, and then it opens, and I didn't notice that until the second time. So, oh boy, fire's chasing us. Run! I forgot your name because I don't remember which character I picked, because this is my 3rd time, but run! And don't touch the spikes, they hurt. Run, 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 run. Oh, I got stuck. Run, 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 run. Breakable blocks. Keep running. Oh, there's a potion up there. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, we done messed up. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, the beginner's traps on this are real. Well, okay, I think you get the hint on this one, especially since I'm sure it's annoying you with that thumping sound in the music. So now let's get to the physical for the game that I have. So this is a physical copy. This is just a sample for Nathan and Luke, Badasses at Law, and Ethan, which is obviously the first game that we covered in this video. And this is what it looks like once you put it together, because if you purchase one of these for yourself, the box and then the box insert come flat so that they don't get damaged in shipping. So if you're curious on what the process is on putting the boxes together, because the first time you do it, it can be a bit tricky, and you know, you obviously don't want to damage it. In my first video that's linked below, I show how to put them together. It's really not that hard once you understand how to do it. And so this is a sample of what you'll get. I don't know for sure that this is the final box and manual version of what Nathan and Luke is going to look like. But, you know, you get a nice color manual, you get a nice color box, it all goes together, and it looks great on your shelf. So this is what it looks like when you purchase one of these. Pretty high quality for the price. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.